Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the NECA Toys Terminator 2 Judgment Day 3D. This is the T-800. Just before we have a look at the T-800 and his accessories, let's get some height going. He stands just a hair, literally just a hair taller than 7 inches tall. He comes with a couple of accessories, one of which being the box of flowers that he has in the beginning when he encounters John Connor. Sadly though, even though the box is a cardboard, and of course I would worry about the longevity of this surviving, unfortunately, it doesn't actually come with any flowers, which I thought, if anything, NECA would have included, like the flowers inside. Sadly, it doesn't come with those. Again, it's a very small thing because I probably will end up displaying it in between his arm and his torso. But I kind of wish that they would have incorporated and gone the whole extra mile. If they've given us the actual box, give us at least the flowers inside as well. One of the things that you could display, obviously, inside the box, as he did display inside the box, was the Winchester 1887 shotgun, which again is a very famous gun used during the, well, at least the opener, the first bit of Terminator 2. And it's very nicely detailed here, utilizing some dark gunmetal colors, as well as some dark browns in the handle and the mid area of the shotgun. You can very easily fit it into his hand. In fact, his hand is posed complete with his trigger finger outward to hold very easily the Winchester, and we'll go ahead and just fit that. You can kind of see how everything the finger is on the trigger, and you've got the 3 fingers in between the actual pump lever there. So it looks very nice, and again, my preferred method of displaying him would likely be to have him holding that, and then just kind of having the box of flowers kind of like wedged underneath his arm. And it's kind of the same thing I've done also with the Hot Toys release of the Terminator. I've got him in kind of basically the same pose, except I've got the arm more so bent up, which is not something that you can accomplish as much with the plastic version of this guy. You can't really get his arm completely up where you can have him kind of holding the gun like he does in the beginning of that scene, or when he eventually, empties it out from the box. One of the other accessories he does come included with is a pistol, which gets its own fair share of paint. Whoops, try not to get him to fall in the process. There we go. He does also come with a pistol that has some darker grays, some silvers, and some blacks. So it's quite nice. And again, you can really technically have it also in his other hand. Not that you would want to have him holding 2 bits of firepower, but the option is there if you want to have him display with both. Or you can really just have this inside the box of flowers and solely have him holding the pistol. One nitpick, though, I could make is it doesn't bother me actually so much on this hand, because this hand I'm going to have him holding the Winchester. But I kind of wish that this hand they would have given us an interchangeable hand, because especially if I'm displaying him with the box of flowers under his arm, it kind of looks like his arm, his other hand should be holding something. Like a relaxed palm certainly could have helped go a long way. That if you didn't want to display him with the firing gun hand, you could have also just had a relaxed hand as well. So those are his accessories. Of course, he has the interchangeable head, but before we look at that, let's look at this figure, which I have to admit, this could be my favorite of the Terminator 2 T-800 figures. Certainly, we've got a whole ton of them in the past, some of which not making use of the new articulation. So like all the new NECA releases all have the now hingeable, rotatable legs, and the knees, again, something that wasn't really there before. But needless to say, we have gotten ourselves a fair number of Terminator Arnie's. And I think of the batch, this might be my personal favorite. It's got really some good solid coloring, not only really in the face, which actually I think is Probably a reused face, but there's something about the way that they painted it that actually makes this face look so much better than some of their earlier releases. Now this is obviously the glasses wearing head sculpt, but also he does come with an interchangeable head if you want to have the unglasses Arnie. And to simply change out the head, you just grab the torso, wiggle and pop the head out of the ball joint, replace the head that you want to use, and all of a sudden now you've got from Arnie wearing the glasses to all of a sudden come with me if you want to live. Again, both head sculpts are really done nicely, and I'm really impressed with how they turned out. Likely, probably reused. I mean, I don't think many of these head sculpts are brand new tools, but I think that the head sculpts are quite good now. Somehow with the way that these were painted, somehow has elevated the head sculpts, I think, looking much nicer now in all honesty. His outfit consists of his black t-shirts, of course his pants and belt, and a bullet-riddled jacket. Which I guess technically isn't scene accurate necessarily to when he's holding the box of flowers. Now granted, this is obviously the Terminator 3D version of the figure, but even still, he should have, if anything, had, well, I wouldn't even say like the bullets on the back, because he kind of drops the box of flowers, grabs the Winchester, and then starts firing off on the T-1000, and then eventually I think he gets shot up on the back there. But like all the little holes and stuff on the front, they've simply just reused the same jacket as before, so a lot of that stuff has carried over. I do like, though, that they've incorporated some nice browns into it. It gives an extra bit of sheen to the jacket, as well as also in the pants, which are supposed to be both leather. I think somehow incorporating the extra layer of paint that they've added to it, this almost like light gray to like the elevated areas of the material, definitely does make it look a lot nicer. And I'm really impressed with the paint actually on all of these. And we'll go ahead and take the head off again. I like personally the glasses version of the head sculpt myself, but either or would be perfectly fine. For his posability, we'll go ahead and his head rotates all the way around, as we've already seen, because we've changed out the head. It also hinges up and down. Shoulders hinge outward, as well as an all the way rotation on the actual whole arm. It's got a bend in the forearm, bend at the elbow, which also allows the forearm to rotate. There's a rotation also in the hand. Upper torso, not quite actually a ball joint, more so just a straight swivel hinge. Forward and back motion in the legs. Legs split out. It's got a swivel cut about the mid portion of the thigh. A nice pleasant surprise. We also get the hinge in the knee, which all is on the newer figure, so I like the fact that they have that little hinge going there. And he's got also the ball joint in the foot. Nice ankle pivot, forward and back motion. And as you probably saw in the beginning of the review, he's got two peg holes on the undersides of his boots, so you can certainly peg him into a display stand, you know, if you want to have the figure displayed in a little bit more of dramatic action other than what we've got currently going here. Overall, the NECA Terminator 2 Judgment Day 3D T-800 turned out to be a really great figure. Yes, I know most of it has basically been reappearances of previous molds. A lot of what you've collected as a Terminator fan probably has made a lot of reappearances here with this particular figure. But there's something about the way that they've painted not only the costume, but also the interchangeable heads that I feel like gives this guy, above the other ones, a real uniqueness that I think this is one of the better, if not the best, release of the T-800 Terminator. The small nitpicks I could probably only make about the figure are more so actually to the accessories. I wish that the hands, one hand could have been a relaxed palm for holding the box of flowers. And while we are talking about the box of flowers, I kind of wish that the flowers were also incorporated into the box as well. Still though, despite those small little things, this turned out to be one fantastic looking figure. Again, today we're looking at the NECA Toys Terminator 2 Judgment Day 3D. This was the T-800. If you guys like this video, certainly hit it with a like down below, and if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? hit that little subscribe button down below. And if you are fans of Terminator, you can also head over to my playlist featuring all the NECA Terminator figures that I looked at before. You could go back then and check out at your viewing pleasure. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.